All right, my friends, welcome to episode 3 of our Final Fantasy 1 arc from the RPG backlog. It's me, Larry, Prof Plays Games, here with Travis and Tom, and we blasted through the next section of Final Fantasy 1. In fact, we went further. Well, let me rephrase that. Tom went further and told us he went further. So we did Ice Caverns, got the airship, Citidel Trials, and then class promotions. We did a trading quest to be able to breathe underwater, and then we went and did the Sunken Shrine all the way through the Kraken Fiend of Water. So yeah, this was a pretty fun section. It went pretty long for me at least, but what was your experience with this, either of you?
Well, obviously, I was having such a good time, I couldn't stop. Up through, because it felt like, yeah, at least there at the end, it was like you go through all that stuff to get basically the breathing underwater, and it's like, well, I'm not going to not check out the Sunken Shrine sort of thing. So that one thing led to another. It was hard to stop.
I mean, I've been all about this since the very beginning. So the one thing that I am realizing now is I do lean on the guide, and I'm realizing that I need to go back to my old habits, because back in the day when we didn't have those, the only way to know what to do was to literally talk to everyone.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm sitting there going, like, the airship. I mean, I didn't talk to anybody. I just went straight to it because the guide's like, hey, go do this to get the airship. And I'm sitting there going, there had to have been somebody I was supposed to talk to tell me what was going on, and I missed it completely.
Yeah, I would argue the opposite of that, which is that this was the week that I finally gave in and was like, I'm just going to look and see what I'm supposed to do next. Like, I'm having fun. I don't want to get stuck wandering forever. And this arc had two things that I don't know how the hell you were supposed to know. And to your point, maybe there was some fun way that they would point you to it, but like, once you get the Levistone from the ice cave, you go to some random desert, and if you stand in the middle of it, the airship shows up.
Right.
Which is, that was not heavily telegraphed. And then similarly, later on, when you have to find the caravan's on like a random tile in the middle of the desert.
Oh my God, isn't that so crazy? And the way that the guide explains it is like, it's on a tile in the middle of like lush green or whatever, flanked by an oasis of trees. It's like, what the fuck? That's not what that looks like.
Not in the Pixel remaster, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of my point, right? Because I noticed this about myself. When I first started playing these types of games, like Final Fantasy VII, I didn't have a guide. I didn't do it. But then when I started playing Tactics, but I remember this specifically because Anthony had the guide, and I borrowed it from him, and I was like, holy shit, there's so much information here that I would have never in a million years known about this game, like how to get the job classes and everything else.
Yeah.
So then I had the habit from then on, whenever I bought a Final Fantasy game, I also immediately bought the official guide to go along with it. Like, it was a double pre-order every freaking time. But so and I don't know if those things really existed in the 80s when this came out. So I'm sitting there going, how in the heck did they do this? Because exactly what you're saying, I was like, hey, the caravan was kind of off the wall. But then it's like, okay, you find the caravan. Do you know that you're supposed to drop 50 G's to get the freaking bottled fairy? Because it doesn't even tell you it's a bottled fairy. It's just like, hey, give me 50 G's and I give you something awesome, is essentially what the guy said.
Some random person somewhere must have said something about the caravan. I believe that's the case. Right. And also, like, hey, spend a ton of money on a bottled fairy.
Where is the well where the fairy lives? Was that
that was in Onrak, that city where you have to go back and then randomly find this pond in the top, like you have to go out this random spot in the city or town, whatever you want to call it, and then follow this random little path again, like the stages we found in that other city. You just have to kind of know to keep doing this every time, and then hey, what do you know? If you happen to have the bottled fairy, she comes out, and boom, now you can progress the story. So I mean, this is what I was getting at. Like, if I tried to play this legit now as an adult, I don't think I would have gotten that far into it because I don't have the patience or the time to sit there and talk to every person in town like I did when I played Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. To sit there and be like, okay, where do I need to go? I'm going to talk to literally every person because it's so tedious for me now.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the time,
that's my MO. Anytime I get into a new town, I try to find everybody. So, like in Onrak, there's a guy next to, I think, the church, and he will say, like, yeah, I caught the ferry. I sold to the caravan.
Exactly.
Like, so
yeah.
what? Just kind of standoffish about it.
That's right.
And other people in town mentioned the pond. Their ferry used to live there, but I don't see her anymore. You know, and that's all fine and good. And I was happy that I did that because then when you have the bottled ferry, you know what to do. But finding that caravan, that guy's like, yeah, I sold to the caravan. So what? I needed one more dude in there who's like, I just came from the caravan in the middle of this desert. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I still don't know how you would find that. But going back a couple of steps, at least, you know, if we want to talk about, you know, having a guide, not having a guide, we checked this before. The, what is it? Oh my gosh, like 80, 90 page manual that this game came with when you bought it tells you exactly where to go to find the airship.
Okay, so people who had this originally had access to something that would give them clues.
I was going to say, page 73, the Ryukon Desert. It points exactly to where it is on the map. And then within the desert, it points to exactly where you go to get the airship.
Oh, interesting.
Another interesting tidbit just looking at this is that the localized, like, I guess, North American version of the Levistone is just called the Floater.
The Floater.
The Floater.
So the idea, like, I have been thinking, well, first of all, back to what you were saying, Tom, to find that person outside the church in Onrak, you had to know to be in fucking Onrak, you know? So, like, if you didn't have the guide or the manual or whatever, you're like, what part of this world do I go to? I guess it's one of the new places you could access, so you eventually get there. But it does seem...
Where is Onrak? I can't remember.
It does seem like there are enough guideposts in the game to, like, give you a vague clue, and then you just hunt. But even I knew where that pixel was based on this guide, and I was still like, I don't understand where in this desert it is. I walked across, like, every single pixel until I was like, wait, that patch of dirt in the grass?
It's a town.
And I didn't, and I fell into it, which was fine. But I'm loving the idea of doing the backlog series of playing these old games where we have things that take away, file away, or sand away a little bit of the rough edges, where we're not going to get frustrated for 5 hours and not know where to go. We can look at something and say, okay, general direction, head that way.
An interesting point, just to mention this, is that bit about the airship in the manual is the last thing in it. So they do eventually sort of push you off the cliff. They help you that far, which is pretty deep into the game. But then they mention a thing about the class promotion, but they do not tell you where to go, where to find it, how to do it, any of that.
Interesting.
I guess they ran out of pages.
Well, I mean, they're only going to hold your hand for so long. And I'm kind of surprised they put that much into it, because if you think about it, in that manual, they put all the way up through like 11 out of 17 steps in this guide that we have through. Actually, technically, to some degree, almost 12, because at least it gives you part of the Citidel trials.
Yeah. Which is also in there somewhere.
Yeah.
That was the tower in the desert, right? Or no, that was... Have we gone to the tower in the desert yet?
I don't think so.
I've just flown past it. Okay, the Citadel Trials is on one of the Dragon Islands, right?
Yeah, the tower is ahead of us.
That's right.
Unless you have gone that far ahead.
No, not this time.
No, yeah, the Mirage Tower Flying Fortress, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that'll be in our last section. There was a piece, God, I can't remember what it was now, where they were talking about the airship, and it said that was created by or built by a man named Sid. Did you talk to that person?
No, that's awesome.
I took a screenshot. Did you see it, Trav?
No, I don't talk to anybody.
Oh, dude. I literally was like, yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh, right. Sid's mentioned. This is great. Because we had Bahamut when we went to, we haven't talked about it yet, but the class promotion, I believe it was Bahamut who is the one upgrading you. Yeah. Yep. When you get down into that cave or whatever it was and explore all the way, there's a series of 5 islands with 5 caves on the islands, and you land your airship in each one. after you've done the Citidel of Trials, where you get the rat tail at the end. He sees
What
you.
is up with that, man? Why
Well,
is it?
Go
You
ahead.
need a MacGuffin.
Well, and it says another random person you talk to says, we always change what it is. It's always something weird, but it is a show of courage. Like, okay. It's a rat tail.
Okay. Yeah, that was it. Citadel of Trials was with all the teleports, right?
The teleporting, exactly. And this is the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that took me a little bit of like, I'm just going to like blindly walk into these things and I'm sure it'll funnel me to where I'm supposed to go. And after I got back to the beginning like 3 times, it's like, okay, I need to be a little more systematic about this, don't I?
This is the one place where I absolutely did not use a guide. And I was like, I know what's happening here. I'm just going to go through it. And I kept warping back to the beginning like 20 times. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. And I finally got through it. And I was like, this is kind of a smart use of the limited tech of the NES to like make something longer, make something a little interesting, use your brain a bit to get to the end. I thought it was pretty cool.
I just ended up, I have a little notebook where depending on my mood, I try and write things down to remember them. In this case, all I used it for was keeping track of which portals took me back and which ones took me to places I hadn't seen before. And so then when I did get kicked back, I knew which ones to pick to get back up to the point that I had made the wrong choice. And then, just sort of slightly akin to, drawing out the grid maps for like original Legend of Zelda sort of thing. But
right. What did you think of that whole piece, Trev?
I mean, I enjoyed it. The only thing, part of the reason why I like the Citadel was also, this is when, we've already seen the flavor of the D&D in there, but to me, one of the most iconic monsters in D&D is the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, dude.
And the fact that was like, all of a sudden the Citadel is like, they piss me off because they can one-shot you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm way over leveled for those little bastards, but they could still do it, which I was like, fuckers. But to me, that was just kind of a cool thing to be like, oh, sweet. Now, I don't know. Like, I've seen the flavor of D&D throughout it, but when I got to see that was just really cool.
I thought it was...
looking son of a bitch, man.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was so cool because it was like so fucking overt D&D. Like even the name, Mind Flayers. Like, wow, we are in it here. It's great.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, wait, is that a trademarked? But then I see it everywhere, though. I've seen it in things that aren't even D&D related. So I'm assuming that there has to be something where either you can't trademark something like that. I don't know, but I feel like everybody trademarks shit all the time. So I'm kind of surprised that they were able to get away with it.
So did you find that it was trademarked?
I don't know. Like, I didn't bother looking for, but my assumption is that it would be.
Yeah.
Just glancing at the wiki article, he shows up in Final Fantasies 1, 4, 5, 7 Rebirth, 12. If it is a copyright thing, they've long since sorted it out because the dude keeps showing up. Something that's kind of interesting is the same wiki. They've got Mind Flayer, also known as Mind Flayer, blah, blah, blah. Bunch of variations on this. The last of which is Davius. Does that ring a bell to anyone?
Is that from Final Fantasy Adventure?
He is the dictator in the town of Jad.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's cool.
You cannot tell that he's a squid person from the sprite, but maybe it's just a reference. I don't know.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But my God, no, he is in the official art. He's a little squid dude.
There you go. Oh shit!
So, Mind Flayer or Illithid is trademarked or copyrighted. But I'm going to assume the way they got around it is it's copyrighted as 2 words, not as a single word.
Interesting. So you just have to pace yourself. Mind Flayer.
Or it wasn't called Mind Flayer in the 80s, or maybe it was, no one fucking cared, or now they've paid a license for it or whatever.
I don't know, but I'm looking at a list of monsters from D&D that are trademarked, and like Beholders, Carrion Crawlers, Displacer Beast, Githyanki, which makes sense, Mind Flayer, Umber Hulks, Slods, and Yuan Tai.
Interesting.
The other, I mentioned this in the, I think in the Discord, but the other cool Final Fantasy adventure connection that I saw was that the Citidel Trials was the same shtick in Tower of Gemma, where you had basically that was like one of the last big dungeon, I think, in Final Fantasy Adventure, before you go to the Tree of Mana, and that was like, I would say that was way more teleports. I got way more turned around in Tower of Gemma than I did in Citadel of Trials. I thought this one was pretty manageable.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say both the Ice Cavern and the Citadel Trials, the little shticks with, like in the Ice Caverns, figuring out where to fall properly to get everything, or which teleporters take you where. They're complex enough to stretch out the playtime a little bit, but not so complex that you want to throw something at the television back in the day to be like, this is BS, man.
Exactly. It didn't feel unfair or feel bullshit.
I was so grateful in the Ice Cavern that of the tropey things in RPGs or action adventure games that come from like ice stuff, that you did not have like the slippy walking mechanic. I will take the fall through the floor bit 9 times out of 10, as long as walking is still the same.
Yeah, I mean, at least you could. The second you saw those parts on the floor, you're like, okay, that's just it's gonna break. I'm gonna fall through. Like, I knew it before I ever stepped on it.
Yeah, right.
Some of us were moving too fast, and it was like, oh, it's like that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the how do you feel at the class upgrades, the change to the sprites and the additional spells and stuff?
They looked sick.
Honestly, like, do I like the change of the sprites? Yes, but beyond that, did it really do anything? No. I didn't notice anything.
I will say, for the big change for me was that the thief turning into the ninja, all of a sudden he can use, we talked about, I think last week, about how there's so much gear for the warrior or the fighter or whatever. Right? They only have the new ones here.
The warrior.
The knight before he was a knight was a warrior, right?
Warrior, yeah.
All of much of his like shields and swords and stuff like that can be used by the ninja and could not be used by the thief. So I got to like super kit him out all of a sudden.
That's cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, and also, I mean, for me at least, it's just the access to the higher spell slots, and then the monk hits harder, so the stats went up. As far as
Did the White Wizard get much? I guess the White Wizard got level 8 spells.
Yeah, it's just the main thing that I've used is the Diagara or whatever one that like kills on
super holy magic.
Yeah, the holy light. That's the one.
Yeah. I've been using that a lot too. That's really nice to clean up zombie hordes, which showed up a bunch in the parts of the game where we were.
But my monk is hitting like fucking 1,200 per hit now, between 1,000 and 1,200.
Should we do a level check?
I'm like 48-ish. I don't have it in front of me, but I think I'm around 47, 48.
I'm back at 44.
Okay. Trap.
65.
65, motherfucker. Wow.
Are you like trying to hit the cap? Is that like a goal of yours?
Nah. I mean, I was farming before, but this time I purposely didn't farm. But so I was like 55, 58 or 59 when I got the class flip. So for me, my monk was already hitting for 1,200 around.
Oh, okay.
So then when he went up to a master, it was like, it didn't have hardly negligible. Here's the thing. My warrior was already at max hit points at level 55 before he flipped over to the knight.
There's max hit points?
999 hit points. You can't get more than that.
Okay. I'm at like 570, 590, something like that.
Yeah. So my war fighter was already at 999 at level 55. So when he when he levels up, literally everything else, like, he doesn't get any more hit points no matter what happens. So Yeah. So for me, I think that's probably why I was less impressed by the class switches, because to be frank, my characters are like, yeah, I'm already hitting pretty hard anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I would say the knight also, I think, got access to some better. There was a really expensive armor that I wanted to buy, but I couldn't. It didn't show as like equipable for anybody. I'm pulling it up right now. It was I guess, diamond armor, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. I think my warrior has diamond armor on.
The warrior has diamond armor?
I'm pretty sure my warrior
does. Mine did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe. And hang on. Is there something? Let's look around and see. Do we have anything else? Oh, knight's armor. That's what it was.
Oh, well, yeah. I can't wear it till they're a knight, I assume.
You can't wear it until you're a knight, but the diamond armor is better. So that's why I'm wearing that one. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool that they had gated some of the more beefier items behind this, that you couldn't get to them. The other thing, going back to the sprites, the black mage. So this guy looks like he's like a Jawa, right? When he's a mage, he's got the little hat, he's got the little glowy eyes, right?
Yep.
And then he takes off the hat and pulls back his hood, and he's got like sunglasses and a mohawk underneath.
Huh? I didn't notice the mohawk. That's interesting.
Just pull up I guess you don't have it in front of you. You can just look up the sprite.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Okay. In the Pixel remaster, you get less of the sunglasses. Okay. But the mohawk is definitely still there. I also, did you guys notice this? I think I was able to load in 8 spells on the mage before he was a wizard. So I don't really know what I thought so.
Fucking sunglasses?
You could, but you weren't able to do all of them. Some of them were still gated behind the class. Like there's one of them. I know what it was, a teleport.
You could.
I tried to buy it earlier because I could use it, but it was like it wouldn't let me do it. So I had to go back and repurchase it after I became the Black Wizards, because then and only then was I able to buy it and equip it.
So I'm looking at the Black Wizard sprite. That doesn't look like a mohawk or sunglasses to me. So that's why I was confused, but maybe it is.
Here, I'm going to drop I'm specifically referring to the NES graphic.
Uh-huh.
He looks like a cool dude. I'll put it in the chat. Give me a sec.
Well, my black mage is named Tom, so of course he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like this was really pretty straightforward. Made sense to go from place to place. The one thing that did not make sense to me, and I had to go back and I put it in our Discord. Yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm looking at. That still doesn't look like sunglasses.
Oh man, I see like a cool guy wearing sunglasses. It's got like
I can see it both.
Yeah, I'm like, that's an eyebrow and an eye, but they just happen to be the same color.
Yeah, it is. What did you put in the Discord? Sorry.
What was I saying?
The Rosetta Stone that you.
Oh yeah. So you're in that area. I think it's the Sunken Shrine, right?
Yep.
And it's got the place where you have like 9 rooms or whatever, and the upper right room you can't get to because like there's cracks in the ground or whatever. And I was like, well, I guess I can't get through there. I guess maybe I'll fall through the floor at the next level and come down. But that didn't happen. I ended up going down and defeating the boss. And when I left, I'm like, what the fuck?
Get to the other side? Yeah, because I got there, but I don't remember how.
Well, I was like, how do you get? So I went back all the way down there. I was like, how do you do this? And then the way you get there is you go on the left side of the map and it just wraps back around.
Yeah.
Just like when you're flying on the airship or whatever. And I was like, oh, it does it in the dungeon too? That makes no logical sense. The world is a globe. This dungeon's not a globe.
This is my annual like video game physics doesn't make sense in these games, right? Because when you're moving along what would it be, a latitude, right, on the Earth, it makes sense that you keep going and you get back to where you started, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Going off the left side,
yes.
Getting back to the right, that makes sense. But if you apply that to the vertical axis as well, the world is a toroid. It's a donut. Like the topology of it is sort of weird.
Yeah, I guess I should not. Like, it's fine that it logically doesn't make sense, but like, there was nothing in my head that said try that until I went back and was like, well, I haven't tried this one dumb thing. Let me try that. Oh, the dumb thing worked. Okay, great. I'm in that room, and there's the Rosetta Stone.
Where did it wrap? I still, because I remember you saying that now, and I don't recall that that's what I did to get
when you're in that floor. You go up to the top left, and there's like a little walkway that hangs off to the top left, and it doesn't. You're logically you think, okay, well that's I don't know if I can get there. Once you get there, your next assumption is like, sweet, great. What am I going to do? Find some other place I don't need to go to. But what it actually does is it wraps you around to the opposite side on the far right.
And that's probably why I don't remember doing this. Is it was just
I did it not because I thought it was going to get me over to that room. I did it because I was like, oh, maybe I'll find some cool shit over here. Then I wrapped around and I was like, oh, okay, I'll accept it, but I don't agree with this.
I see it now. Yeah. I'm
trying to share my screen. I don't know if you can see my screen there.
You have to click on watch stream to be able to do it. But yeah.
So if you do that, Tom.
I just see I see something. Yeah.
Okay, you see Sea Shrine level 5?
A watch stream.
Yeah, you have to click on watch stream to be able to see what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same picture. Yeah, okay, I see.
So you got, 16 rooms or 15 rooms, whatever. So see the walkway on the left side that walks off the screen?
It just takes you to the right.
It takes you to the right. And then that's the way you get into that room. It's like, what the hell?
Man.
Yeah, so that was weird. But then I went back and figured it out. I was like, okay, great. So I talked to all the mermaids, got all the chests open up. There's a lot of chests open up in this place. Lots of good stuff.
Well, anything we're talking about mermaids?
I initially wasn't talking to them because I thought they're going to be like the other little assholes that you find in dungeons that will attack you and have a little fight. But then after I had gone through all the rooms, I'm like, dude, how do I get to this place? I started talking. I was like, okay, F it. I'm just going to see if I can kill them. Walked up to them and they're like, oh, they talked to me. Okay. All right, sweet. Then I realized like, okay, now that doesn't help me get to that room. And then I saw that little path and I was like, oh, let me go see if this will work and see what happens. And I was like, oh shit, this defies logic.
The style of this game, Travis, is a mystery to me. You're grinding to level 65, but you find an enemy encounter in this thing and you're like, nah, that's not for me.
Well, only this time because I felt bad that I was so much higher level than the two of you. Because when we were talking last week, you're like, I was like, I'm 34, I'm 33, and I'm like, I'm 55. Maybe I should slow my roll here.
You shouldn't feel bad. Just fly your flag.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's why I was trying to avoid fighting them because I was like, I'm already too high level for this. And as I said, this just reaffirms I'm too high level because like when I switched the classes, I was like, okay, I don't see any real noticeable change. You guys like, oh my god, this is a huge change of what I could do. I was like, oh crap, I guess I was too high level.
Yeah.
So the Rosetta Stone was in that one on the corner, off on the edge. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so I enjoyed parts of this doing it without a guide, and then obviously when I had a question or whatever, I'm glad that it was there. I found the boss. I'm sure Travis did too, but the boss was trivial. It took me like 2 or 3 rounds.
It didn't even take me 2 full rounds. The first round, my warrior did like 800. My monk did 1,800.
Jesus.
The next round, before anybody did it, my monk does 1,800 again, and it's just like dead. I was like, oh, okay.
That's amazing.
I think that's so funny because I also think that you guys maybe mentioned this in Discord, and I think this guy gave me more trouble than anybody. I don't think I died to him, but it's like the spells maybe I'm confused last week. This wasn't that bad. He was fine. What kind of spells did he use? I can't remember.
I have zero clue.
You guys didn't see any spells, yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I did see any spells.
I saw some spells, but all my characters resisted them, so I was like, okay. So I don't know what he actually cast.
Interesting.
Ink.
Trying to click forward on this YouTube video to see Kraken.
I can pretty much just auto battle everything at this point.
Ink, yeah.
Yeah.
I see ink mostly being used right now.
Yeah,
which must mean like blind, which again, as we had the conversation last week, I don't think it does daily squad anyways.
Nothing. I just got cool sunglasses on.
I was gonna say, I did finally see it for the first and only time, and it's like, I think in this battle because of ink, and I was
Yeah.
yeah.
But did any of your characters miss?
No, we were fine.
Right. That's my point. Is I think it's just there to make your characters look cool, and that's it.
So in this section, I found, I can't remember the name of it now. I'm going to make this up, but it was like wizard staff and healing staff. Actually, I think that's actually what they're called. And I put them on my black mage and my white mage. Did you do this? And did you learn how to use them?
So
You use them like an item.
Yeah, but you go to the item screen and you have to press up to leave your items to go to your equipment.
Yep.
That's weird.
what do you? So hang on. My answer is no, because one of the other cool things the Black Wizard can do now is they can wield knives.
Oh yeah, like the fucking claws.
That's what I gave my guy right now. So I don't have.
I took the claws off to put on his wizard staff because he can cast thunder for free, which is stupid because I'm not using all my spells, so I don't really need it. But I thought it was cool that he can just cast stuff for free.
Castings for free? Where's the wizard staff? I don't have it.
I thought it was in the Sunken Shrine, to be honest, but it may have been in the ice cavern.
Might have been an ice cavern.
Yeah. But the healing staff is pretty cool for the white wizard because it just casts healing for free. So you select it as an item, so what I usually do is have my warrior and my monk attack. Then I use healing staff and I use wizard staff, and then I use that for my auto. So next time I get into a battle, it's just that sequence over and over and over again. So I'm always healing and always casting thunder for free.
So it's not the Cavern of Ice. I have 15 of 15 there, and so Sunken Shrine, I've only got 28 of 32, so maybe it's
okay. Maybe it's let's see here. Wizard staff location.
Dude, that's a lot of chess.
Yeah, I opened all of them, so it's probably from the Sunken Shrine.
All right.
Or it might have been from the Citidel trials because I think there was some stuff in there, wasn't there?
There was stuff in there, yeah. The wizard staff casts Confuse. I'm thinking of a different mage's staff. That was the one that did thunder.
Yeah.
So
okay. Sorry, I have the mage's staff.
Yeah, but I was talking about the wizard staff. But the mage's staff is the same idea, so you can use that as an item. Cast thunder with that one, I believe.
But does it exhaust? Like it goes away then?
No.
Okay.
It's just free.
That's
so I'd imagine playing the NES version where you don't have what the fuck? Oh, fuck me. Hold on a second.
What?
Hold on a second. God damn it. Fucking Travis, don't kill me. That's from you pick up the fucking wizard staff in section 15.
What?
I was like, that makes so much more sense because I was like, I don't know anything about this wizard staff. I was like, there was a mage's staff that's super freaking weak in what it casts. So I was like, you're like, this staff is awesome. And I'm sitting there going, I tried. So I was like, okay, I'm going to equip it. And I tried. I'm like, this staff sucks. Like, why would I ever use this? And I even have the one. Do you have a different healing staff too? Because I think
no, I don't. It's just a regular healing staff. I only have one.
Maybe I didn't try that one. I know
it heals for like 40.
Yeah, okay. Then maybe I tried both of them. Then I was both of these suck. Like this is pointless, man. Like my freaking the group heal does the most basic group heal does the same amount of healing as that healing staff does to one person, but the difference is it does it to all four. So I'm like, why would I ever use this shit?
I think I would imagine it was useful on the original NES cart where you fucking exhausted all your resources. You're like, this is the thing that's going to get me through this battle.
Right. I can see that being the case. I can also see that being the case of you're out of battle or you're like, holy shit, I've ran out of potions and I just need something to get me through this. Let me go.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. But in my situation, since I hit cap on the Gill a while ago, I roll around with 99 of everything. Yeah. So I'm again, the curses of farming ungodly amounts like I do, I tend to make these games easier than they need to be. Or maybe it's because I had such a horrible experience with Final Fantasy X with the wall that I hit there. So
that's funny because I find that I use items almost never. I don't think I've ever, maybe once I've used an ether. I can count on, 2 hands the number of potions that I've used in the whole game.
Oh, interesting. I've used quite a few.
I always go to the magic because in my head, the magic is like a renewable resource. As soon as I get to a town, I get all that back. So that's been sort of my default. Well, I think I used one of the cottage or the tent or something. I think I used.
So in a battle, I will use the white mage's healing, hands down. Like that's just no questions asked. Outside of battle, I will use potions to top my characters off before I move on to the next one. And the reason being is I do that specifically so that when I do get, and it hasn't happened because I'm over leveled as all hell. But from personal experience, I usually find that sometimes you hit a battle where it's like if you've exhausted a lot of your spells or you're halfway through them, sometimes it puts you up against a wall and it does you in.
Yeah.
So that's why I hold on to the spells only for when I'm in a battle. And usually I try to limit it if it's just the random fodder before I get to some major ones, just because.
I do try and conserve, the attack spells for if you have something that's actually going to be hard. It's like, I'll take some minor damage from these, sort of trash mobby kind of guys. It's not a big deal. And save your, Thundara and Blizzaga or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I tend to preserve my magic for some dumb reason. That's why I'm using the healing staff. Even though I have 20 cottages, I can just re-up my MP whenever I'm on the open field.
You can't use it. That's the thing, though. All of those things, you can't. I thought that maybe they would at least make one of them in
a dungeon.
Yeah, but you can't. So
no, yeah, exactly.
I found that stratification kind of pointless. That it's like this one does a little, this one does a medium, and this one really good. I guess maybe at the very there's some decision to be made, like, oh, do I spend my best, do I use my cottage here or do I get my tent or any more? I don't have 99 cottages, but 15 or something. So how's Xenia, Larry?
I am not that far.
Oh, okay.
I went to the waterfall cavern.
Okay.
Yep. So I think, I just did the very beginning part of 15 to see where the next part was. Like, where's the waterfall? There it is. Okay, I'll go in here. Yeah, now I'm remembering. Fucking gave myself away.
That's what you get for talking about shit and to be like,
Oh, cool, guys. What do you mean you're not using it?
I only stopped after I got done with 14. Seriously.
Oh my God, what the fuck? That's like, why don't you guys have this really interesting fucking staff? What fucking losers? God.
Well, yeah, because like I said, when you're like, oh my God, this stuff is awesome, I'm sitting going, okay, I gotta try it. This staff is garbage. What is this guy talking about? This is like.
Well, to be fair, the healing staff is garbage. I'm still using it because it works. So.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, I was just sitting going, dude, the freaking black mage staff, whatever, like it doesn't even tickle them. And I'm sitting going, this is a basic level single target spell. Like, why do I care? Like, if at least it was one of the first AOE one, I should go, okay, now this is good. But since it's a single target, I was like, I cast it once. I was like, oh, F this, man. I'm going back to my claws.
Yeah, right. I mean, those claws are fucking rad. So
yeah, the claws
I probably will too, but I really haven't found a need. Like my warrior and my monk wreck shit, so I haven't really needed the black mage to do much. So
I just have them attack just where they do something. So
that's what I was going to say. He's not going to use his magic.
I'm like, yeah, can you be useful? Here, just tickle the monsters for me, please.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's things that you're just, the general you, which specifically excludes Travis, but sometimes those of us at more pedestrian levels, there are things that you can't quite one-shot. So your heavy hitters come in and I try and spread them around so that they don't wait. I don't want to waste my 2 best guys right? If you can do 80% with one guy, it doesn't make sense to use the other heavy hitter to just mop up kind of thing. And so sometimes the black mage is used.
Yeah. So what typically happens is the knight now kills one, my master or monk kills another, and then I have the white mage and the black mage attack the same one, and they usually are able to kill it off as well.
Speaking of the mages, do you guys? I feel like I have this in my head, but I can't remember where it was. Was there a town that had 2 magic shops?
The one of the first ones, but Elfheim.
Elfheim. Okay, that was a while ago.
Onrak did too.
Did it have 2?
Let me just.
I don't think it had.
Clarify. None of this is from section 15. This is from earlier.
No.
There was one. I don't know if it was Onrak. Probably not. But I thought there was some city that had like in the middle of the town was like you can buy level 7 spells, and at the top of the town you can buy level 8 spells or whatever.
Dude, if you went to Lufinia, which is also in section 15,
I didn't. I have not. I swear to God,
it's not that one.
No.
So
I don't know if it is, but I haven't there.
Elfheim definitely had 2 sets. I'm looking at it right now. It had 2 by the end, and then it had 2 more up in the top left.
No, Gaia's got 2, like right when you walk in.
Oh, is it Gaia?
Path into the floor.
Gaia. That's it. That's right. That's right. Yep.
That was cool. That was like, I spent all my money on these 6 spells and wandering around the town. I was like, wait, what? There's more?
Well, I think that was the town where I bought all the spells I could, at both places, and I went from max gil to 490,000 gil. I was like, Jesus, that was expensive.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a bit expensive.
No. I missed the second one in Gaia altogether.
Up in the woods a bit.
That's why you have
That's why we're podcasting.
I guess I'm going back.
Yeah, because that's where I got the holy. I think is from there, from the top shops. Or unless you have holy. Do you have holy?
I have holy.
Oh, then.
No, do you mean like Diaga or whatever?
Sure. I don't know.
Holy is actually a spell too.
No, I know. I use holy.
There was holy.
I guess I got holy from Onrak then.
Yeah.
Or the fucking caravan. Who knows?
Or you went to Lufania and you just
I didn't. I swear to God, no one would believe me.
No, I'm sorry, dude.
I've admitted to my.
I have this awesome staff. You guys should be using it, dude. We're not even to that section yet.
Dude, you're gonna get that staff and you're like, this staff sucks.
Probably.
Yeah, it just has confuse. So.
Well, maybe you have been there, man, because that's where holy comes from. Holy, null all, dispel, and then stop, warp, and kill are the level 8 stuff that you can get in Gaia.
No, we have all been to Gaia.
But
oh, you mean Travis? Okay.
Travis, yeah.
Maybe I have and I don't remember, but I'm still going to go back and double check.
Yeah. I bought everything.
Connected. That's the other fun thing about that shop is that they're like,
oh yeah, that's right. It's one building. Like, why are they both in this town? Interesting. You have to go to the left of the town, go up the path, and then cut through the woods. You can't get there from just going into the trees.
Yeah. Area.
But yeah, overall, I mean, I really like this section, and clearly it was hard for me to stop because I went to the waterfall. But we've got section 15, which is the Warp Cube, Rosetta Stone, and Bell, keys to the Flying Fortress, whatever the fuck that means. But we're going to a waterfall. We're getting a Warp Cube from a robot, and then we're going to Lufenia. And then we go to the Tower of Mirage and the Flying Fortress, which the Tower of Mirage has 3 levels of its map, and then the Flying Fortress has 5 levels. And then the Temple of Chaos, which we go back kind of where we were at the beginning, and that's got 3, 5, 7,
8,
9, 8. Oh. 8. Yeah, 3, yeah, 8. 8 pieces to that boss or to that dungeon. Yeah, so I guess the next time we meet, we will have beaten the game.
Beat the game.
Yeah, shit.
Are we gonna go for all that?
Well, I mean,
yes. I just can't imagine that. Like the Warp Cube, Rosetta Stone, and Bell. There's no dungeons there, so that's a sort of a.
There's a dungeon for us.
Yeah.
There's not a dungeon for somebody
there's no
else.
for me, yeah, that's right, exactly.
But like, there's only one level. Now that I'm clicking on it, it's flipping huge. But in that for now. But that's gonna go quick. I think we play it by ear, but this doesn't look like, given how loose of a approach that we're all pretty beefily leveled, and I know I'm playing this. What I was saying, I think before we came on, but I've embraced the easy path of playing with boost and autopilot sort of thing, and that's made it just really easy to just cut through this stuff and kind of enjoy it as you pass along. So I say we give it a shot.
Let's try it, and then we can adjust if we're like, wow, this dungeon's taking me 6 hours.
Well, the tower, I'm looking at the maps on the tower, and they're ridiculously basic.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then I think we're good then. Tower barrage, level 1. Oh, it's like a circle?
Yeah. And the flying fortress looks still... okay, never mind. Holy crap, got the 3.
Oh,
it
yeah,
gets more one complex. 4 is just simple, but looks like it has some sort of gimmick to it.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to evaluate after Flying Fortress and check in.
Yeah, let's do that.
5 looks straightforward, which makes me think it's not.
It's a path.
That map makes me nervous because...
No, I think that's for ambiance.
Oh, maybe that's a bridge. Maybe that's just a bridge. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. I think that's... Yeah, okay. So that bridge... Who's going to farm that bridge?
You are, if there's farming involved.
Well, because I'm reading it, and there's a boss battle, and I've seen this before, that he's a rare spawn.
On that bridge?
On the bridge, the war mech.
Oh, yeah, war mech.
A rare what?
Omega.
It's a rare, yeah, he's the Omega. I mean, he's basically there, according to what I've read about it, it's the hardest boss in the entire game, but he's not a guaranteed spawn, and he'll only spawn on that bridge in the Flying Fortress.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Where are you seeing that it only spawns there? I'm seeing information about them, but
I've read it multiple places.
Okay. Huh.
Like, there's something else I was reading where someone was like, "Oh, I farmed someone was like, I farmed for like 4 hours trying to get the war mech to spawn." It's like, oh shit. Well, guess what I'll be doing? I might be 99 before we get to the last section.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. That would be great. Man, I like this game so much. I went on eBay and bought an NES cart of it.
Did it get in?
Yeah, I got it. I haven't loaded it up yet to see if it actually works, but I'm mostly going to display it anyways. But I really like it.
Must play the original version to see how bad it is.
I'm going to. I will. I promise that I will before we podcast next time, so I can tell you about it.
This is so meta, you guys. The war mech, also known as the Death Machine,
yeah, baby.
An infamous foe from the original Final Fantasy, located in the Flying Fortress on the bridge leading to Tiamat. It has a 1 in 100 chance of appearing each time the Warriors of Light enter a battle there.
And listeners, that means 1% chance.
And that means I will probably be level 99.
You're just gonna like go up. I've seen this motherfucker just fucking hours and hours fucking farming, like mind numbing. So yeah, I bet you'll do it.
I mean, it depends, right? Like, I probably will to a certain point, because if it looks like I'm not going to get it before, I'm not going to hold up saying like, hey, I can't do section 17 because I'm farming this 1% chance boss.
This says that the War Mech's HP is 2,000 though, so it has a bunch of spells that can fucking obliterate you, but one hit from your monk, I don't know.
It should be dead. That's why I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, you just want to fight it.
I just want to fight it, just to be like, I got all of the bosses.
Well, recommended level for Tiamat, just so you know, is level 34.
Okay, so we're good.
Recommended level for the War Mech is only 30.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's right. This is good shit, man. This is good shit. Anything else for this podcast?
It was fun seeing the dragons walk around like people and talk like normal.
Totally. And they're like, oh, people and dragons used to hang out together.
And we got kind of standoffish and moved to these islands.
Yep. Man.
I mean, I don't blame the dragons.
No, have you seen people?
There's one in like a random town though. Like I think Onrak, there's like one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There is. Yeah.
That was like very surprising, but oh, hey, dude.
Yeah. Fucking
That's
crazy.
fun.
Well, cool. If you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. Tell a friend or tell your mom. Grab your mom's phone and download it on her fucking podcast app and surprise her with us. That'd be great.
I wouldn't recommend that.
We love surprising people's moms.
Is that the tagline for this podcast?
Surprise your mom.
Oh,
That's going to be the episode title. The last episode title was Mithril Butt. So this is great. Well, thanks, folks, and we will see you next week.